What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be talking about probably what's become my newest favorite carry handgun for concealed carry. So today I've got the HK P2000. This is V3. I'll get back into the variants later. First I gotta clear the weapon. It is loaded. Weapons clear. So let's talk about the HK P2000. I love HKs. This one has pretty much become my everyday carry gun for several reasons. What you're getting with the size of this gun is just absolutely phenomenal. It's 22 ounces. The overall length is 6.8 inches. The barrel length is 3.7 inches. The barrel is a cold hammer forged barrel with polygonal rifling. The width is only 1.3 inches, so it's a very slim pistol for being an HK. It's about 0.3 inches wider than most single stacks on the market. This one is chambered in 40. They have 40 and 9mm variants. I prefer the 40 in this package. The height is 5 inches even, and the sight radius is 5.6 inches. So you get a good sight radius for it being a compact pistol. The slide is it's milled from a solid bar of nitrocarburized steel. It's got the polymer frame, the HK polymer frame, universal rail for weapons, lights, lasers, all that stuff. This firearm is completely ambidextrous. It's got the European style paddle magazine release, which can be actuated from either side of the pistol. So that's good. The slide release is also ambidextrous. So you can actuate the slide release from this side or from this side of the pistol. This is a hammer-fired gun. On the rear of the firearm, you have a decocker right here. And you just push that decocker down, and it safely drops the hammer on a live round for holstering. And that's what it was designed for. The placement of this decocker was placed for holstering a firearm. So you cycle, you get ready to holster, drop it down, and you holster your firearm. Very well designed decocker. It obviously has no safety on either side of the firearm, which gives it a slimmer profile. And as you can see, this was heavily based on the HK USP. This was designed in 2001 and started production that year, and is still being produced today. This is pretty much the updated USP compact because of its size, but its similarities to the USP, just more modern and more ergonomic, less controls here with the safety and decocker here. So as I had mentioned earlier, this is the variant 3, which is the double action, single action. The double action pull is right around 11 pounds, where the single action pull is right around 4 pounds. They have 5 variants of this firearm. The V0 being the CDA or LEM trigger, which is the double action law enforcement modification trigger. It's got a lighter trigger, and it does have the spurred hammer. The variant 1 is the same as the variant 0, but it has no spurred hammer. The variant 2 is the same as the variant 1, but with a increased trigger pull. Then this is the variant 3, which I had mentioned, double action, single action. The variant 4 is an increased pull on the variant 1 or variant 2, and then the variant 5 is the double action only variant of this firearm. So, it's a short recoil Browning type action, and the breakdown of this firearm is very simple. So you have the typical slide relief cut here, and what you would do is line that cutout over the box, and you just pull this right out, your slide release. Once you pull the slide release out, you can pull the slide right off, and you have your recoil assembly with the recoil buffer that HK is putting in some of their firearms. And here you have your cold hammer forged barrel. Cold hammer forged barrels are the way to go. They're the way of the future for accuracy, durability, and longevity. And HK is very good at putting quality barrels in their firearms. And as you can see, you have the typical frame of an HK. This decocker is a little different. You really got to know what you're doing if you plan on getting in here and making modifications yourself to this firearm. I should also mention, I conceal carry this. I like having an ambidextrous slide release. I like all my guns to be completely ambidextrous. If you do not need the ambidextrous feature, then you can pull your slide release up and it'll come right off, as you can see. And I prefer to have mine on because, like I had mentioned, I absolutely love having an ambidextrous firearm. But you can take that off and reassemble your firearm and it will function just fine. So you just put your recoil spring assembly back in. Reinsert your slide catch or your slide release stop, whatever you prefer to call it. If I can get it. I got oil on my hands now. There we go. So, function check. And you're back in business. So this has become my everyday carry gun, simply because it's comfortable, it's accurate. I love the 40 caliber cartridge. It holds 12 rounds in the 40 caliber, and I'm not sure, maybe 15 in the 9mm, I would assume. It takes USP compact magazines, so if you have a USP 40 compact, it uses the same magazines. It has interchangeable back straps. This came with 5 of them, I believe. No, 4. It came with 4 or 5, I think 4. So a wide variety of options for your back strap. The stippling has a sandpaper-like stippling on the front and the rear with it has a finger swell. I wouldn't call it a finger groove here, which is very nice, very comfortable. It's not too intrusive. The The slide release, like I had mentioned, was the paddle release, and it's very small on this firearm. I would have liked it to be a little bit bigger, but for a compact gun, it's very well thought out and very well designed. So that has become my my everyday carry gun now. Simply because, I mean, you can't beat the reliability of this firearm. It's just absolutely great. You know, I haven't had any modifications to it. I don't plan on doing anything to it. But if you're interested in a P2000 or a USP, you know, I definitely recommend getting the P2000. So if you got any questions, comments, leave them down in the comment section. Thanks for watching.